Let's talk about avoiding stress eating and late night over snacking. So, both of these are actually symptoms of a deeper problem. Okay, so we don't just want to look at, okay, what's a good snack I can eat if I'm stress eating or when I want a late night snack. That is good, but what's even better is looking at what is causing this trigger to stress eat or to late night over snack so that I can actually navigate these situations with or without food and still feel good. All right, so those deeper problems. Also, I will be adding some good snacks and things that are linked below, but it would be a disservice of me not to go deeper with you on this. So let's dive in. Deeper problems can be related to how you're eating throughout the day can lead to the late night snacking. Okay, this could be the habits you've created at night unconsciously, which you can change, or it can be not having a tool to de stress without food. So, how do you feel better without food? I got you. All right. So, I remember talking to a client who had a really kind of intense late night snacking habit. And she, it's like once the kids went to bed, it's like a few too many cookies, a few too many chips, maybe some wine got involved type of thing. And I asked her, okay, how are you eating throughout the day? And she explained, okay, she was having a bit of coffee and some like toast or fruit. She'd have a light lunch, then she'd have dinner with the family, and then kids go to bed. Boom, there goes the late night snacking. And it may be obvious, but it was absolutely that she wasn't eating enough throughout the day. She also was eating in a way that would spike her blood sugar so that she would crave more, even crave more at night to have more carbs. So that's where we want to look at the root of what's contributing to her late night snacking instead of like having, okay, at night, just choose from this list. Well, what if we go back farther and prevent that from happening in the beginning? Okay, so what did we do? First, we gradually had her eat more and especially get her protein up. And then we had her incorporate balanced meals. What is a balanced meal? I would say baseline, a balanced meal has got to have protein. It's got to have some fats and it's got to have some fiber. PFF is your BFF. Okay, protein, fats, fiber. And also add some carbs in there too. Okay, this is going to help balance your blood sugar. And when you do that, you don't have any big highs or dips. So when you're just having carbs, for example, like she was having a piece of toast, she's going to have a spike in her blood sugar. It follows by a big crash. And that's where you crave more carbs. Okay, you want that quick energy. So we're actually setting ourselves to have more cravings or even more triggers to stress eat when we do not have balanced meals. Okay, so I linked in the cheat sheet will include like some examples of balanced meals. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so for her, an example for her breakfast, we started to incorporate eggs. Eggs have protein, they also have fats, and then she had some fruit. Cool, way more balanced, and she was eating more. All right, and then if you're hungry for a snack, keep protein in it. Doesn't even have to be, you don't even have to prepare anything. So you could grab a yogurt with some fruit. You could grab a string cheese and a tortilla. You could grab a protein bar, apples and nuts. Okay, so even if you're at the gas station, instead of choosing just chips or just something sugary, it's like, ba-bump. Okay, where is my protein? I want you to look for the protein and then see what else you can find. Okay, so the cheat sheet will give some examples. That alone is going to eating enough and having balanced meals will prevent a lot of these problems. Now, it may go a bit deeper into your habits. This happened to me around 7 years ago. I struggled with late night over snacking. It was basically I'd eat healthy all day. Then around 8 o'clock, I craved chips, cookies, treats. It was so odd. Almost every day, it was like I did not have those types of cravings. Then come nighttime, I'm like a different person. I'm like, what in the heck? It's like this sugar monster woke up within me. And what was the root cause of that? Now I know it was because in the past I would do different diets that had me in too big of a caloric deficit and too big of a restriction. And so at night, I'm set up to be quite ravenous and have some slip ups. Now, even after I stopped doing those types of approaches, I had created a habit around nighttime. So my brain was used to, like, it literally had a neural pathway where it's like, oh, it's nighttime. This is what we do. We oversnack. I remember wanting to avoid the kitchen after 8 p.m. I'm like, I don't trust myself in here. Okay, so how do you get on the other side of that? Let's talk about it. Okay, so what happened was at a certain period, a certain time, night, I would experience an urge, a craving, an urge to snack a lot, to eat more food. Now, I also want to say that having a snack at night, totally fine. You can absolutely reach your goals and have a little bit of ice cream at night. You can have some chips. It is okay. We're talking about over snacking. Okay, one of the things I love about what we teach our clients is like, yeah, have some ice cream at night. It's okay. They're like, wait, but then I'm not supposed to eat after a certain time or I won't reach my goals. And we're like, no, just let yourself have it. We just want to keep it to one portion. Okay. Because obviously we do have to work within certain target ranges for you to lose fat, but you can still absolutely incorporate some treats and they can be at night. It is okay. We're talking about too many where you are gaining weight or it's too much. Okay. So important part there. All right. So you can totally enjoy serving us something. So I would have this urge to oversnack and I wanted to get rid of the urge. That's why I would start to do it. So in the end, we want to learn that those urges we can actually just allow and they will move through us. Okay. So let's also take this to a bigger picture really quick. All of our actions create consequences. Hooray for being responsible. But this also gives us our power because when we realize we're choosing something, we're also choosing the consequence of that thing. So look at these choices and think, okay, how is this going to make me feel in 20 minutes? How will this make me feel in 2 hours, this late night snacking, over snacking? What about tomorrow? Ooh. What about if I keep doing this for 2 weeks or 2 months? When we start to add it up, we realize, okay, this is something I really need to get on the other side of. And again, I struggle with myself. I've been able to get on the other side and I've helped hundreds of women to do the same using principles like this. Okay. So what do you really want to choose? You're in the driver's seat. You have the power. I'm guessing you probably want to choose like, yeah, I want to be able to have a portion and then move on. I don't want to feel like I feel bad about my choices the next day or I'm slowly gaining weight. Okay. So the reason that we're doing this is we don't want to feel that urge or it helps you to relax or, it actually releases some positive brain chemicals for a duration when we're having some of those tasty things. We just want to feel better, right? That's what it's for. So how can we feel better without food or with having just one portion? Because if we're eating too much, then it's costing us more inflammation, weight gain, health conditions, less energy. Let's be real. If you have a lot of sugar the night before, you wake up and you're like kind of puffy and you're like kind of, especially if it incorporates wine, you're like, oh, shoot. And it's really costing us. Okay. And we can change this. So what I would say is late night, have a portion. Okay. Just have the portion, or maybe you have like a small portion of chips and even a little treat, like keep it to the portion and then understand that you can allow this urge and it will move through you. And then at some point you're not going to have that urge anymore. And over time, this changes. We're going to change the habit. Now, if you want a tool to shift that urge quicker and get rid of it, then do the EFT tapping that I've linked below. All right. So now let's talk about stress eating. In our coaching, we will always teach for you to take your power and take full responsibility and ownership over your life. So in the end, we look at, okay, I am the common denominator. I am the source of all the results in my life because that gives you your power because then you can change it. So quick overview of if we're looking at the root, how are you actually contributing to your own stress levels? And I say this all with love from a place of helping to empower yourself and just lovingly look at, oh, wow, like I do that. That is contributing to my stress. And it's not that you're going to fix it overnight, but it's also you start with awareness and then you start to make small changes. And then over time, you're experiencing less stress. fewer triggers to stress eat instead of just trying to not stress eat. It's like, how can we not have the trigger to stress eat? Yes. So, for example, and I say all of these with love, do any of these resonate with you that may be contributing to your stress? Are you planning the day? Do you scroll a lot? Are you procrastinating? Are you not good at delegating and trying to do everything yourself? Are you not communicating your needs to your partner? Are you not being a team with your partner or with your family and just taking on the load for everybody? Okay. Instead of learning how to communicate with them. Or do you focus a lot on things that aren't in your control? It's like worrying a lot or ruminating about how something went. Okay, all of that is actually contributing to your stress. And again, it's just something that we want to start with awareness and work on. All right. So, why do we stress eat? We are seeking a state change. We don't want to feel stressed. Okay, so we can use food to alleviate it in kind of a band-aid fashion, right? It's when we have something tasty or delicious, some dopamine is released in our brain, so it helps us to relax and feel a little bit better. And then also it helps when we eat more, it can help to dull our emotions or even numb our emotions. Okay, so again, if you eat a little something, like, oh, it was a stressful day, I'm gonna have a cookie. Cool. Like, it's a cookie. We're talking about, oh, let's get cookies and ice cream and have pizza and, have a couple, like, we can tell the difference, right? When it's a reasonable portion and it's a 80-20, 80% healthy foods, 20% like have some wiggle room, live your life type of thing. Okay, it's just the overdoing it. So what do we need to get on the other side of this? We need to learn how to shift our state, shift this stress without food. Okay, 2 parts of this, really simple. 1, learn to allow it and actually just sit with it. Okay, so maybe you get home from work, you're all wound up, and you go take some space. Sometimes I sit in my car, sometimes I go in my closet, sometimes I go in my bathroom. Okay, you can find a place to yourself. All right. I have kids, I get it. I have a family, and it is so important that you give yourself space when you need some space. All right, even if you have to get creative and it's in some weird spot. Trust me, I've done some, I'm just like, this corner of the closet, I gotta go. Okay, see ya. All right, so sit with it, allow it. I am experiencing stress. I like to say I'm experiencing and not identify with a feeling instead of I am so stressed. It's like I'm experiencing stress. Stress is a vibration in my body. You create some distance. I am me. I am not stressed. Stress is moving through me. All right. And then you can breathe through it. You can let it be there. Being able to sit with yourself with any emotion, positive or negative, is one of the most empowering skills you could ever give yourself, because then whatever comes up in your life, you'll be able to navigate it because you're not scared or you're not trying to avoid feeling any emotion. Whoa. That's when you become unstoppable. All right. So knowing that it is, 1, okay to be experiencing this, not judging yourself for any type of, oh, I shouldn't feel stressed. Okay. You're judging yourself for feeling stressed. It's okay. I am experiencing stress. It's okay that I am experiencing this, and doesn't mean anything negative about me. And it's okay to be experiencing this. I am a human. Okay. 1, being okay that it's there. 2, letting yourself just feel it and then allowing it to move through. And what can really help is the tapping that I've linked below, because this will give your mind direction and even your body some direction to allow it and love and accept and forgive yourself for anything that's going on and move this stress out of your body without food. Wow. Okay, so I will let you experience that. It may be something totally new to you, so I'm really excited for you to give it a go. And then if you have any questions, let me know. And there's some other goodies linked below so that you can just keep progressing on your health and body journey. And I am here for you in whatever way feels good for you. So see you on the other side.